Hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and it is day one of Coffee with Candy for July. And how could I do this series in July without making it a Christmas in July? So I'm having Christmas in July. I mean, my business has Christmas in July pretty much everywhere you look. So no surprise, I'm doing it here for Coffee with Candy. So let me get everything positioned here and welcome you and tell you what's what. So each month I do a Coffee with Candy series, and that is a week-long, Monday through Friday, of seasonal projects. And they're always on a theme, and I give all my email subscribers the PDF tutorials with all of the measurements and everything for free. So that is for my email subscribers. Make sure that you are a subscriber. You can just go to sweetstamper.com and it will prompt you to subscribe to my emails. And I do like to love on my email subscribers with free projects throughout the month and goodies, tips, tricks, all my latest events, and all the latest Stampin' Up! News. Okay, so today I'm going to be featuring, actually all week I'm going to be featuring this bundle. I usually key in on one or two. I might bring in a second one, but this one is, I think, a little bit underappreciated right now. So we had a number of things that went live for the July online exclusives to help us get a leg up on our Christmas crafting, and this is one of them. And what I really like about this is it's a very affordable bundle. So let me get that price for you really quick. Yes, so, well, it's $55.75 for the bundle. The stamp set's $25, but you really want them both. And what I like is I'm going to show you some great ways to use them as tags, but also as elements for your cards, for your little boxes and 3D projects and all kinds of things. So I think it's very versatile. I love the fact that you have these little flowers, which could go beyond Christmas. And all of your little, I like these small images that are very iconic, classic Christmas. I have a tendency to go towards classic images for Christmas. You've got the stocking and the candy cane and the holly leaf. Now, let me show you what's really unique about this and what I did to change things up and make it more usable for me, and something you might like as well. So you have all of these images that are going to cut out what you have stamped. Then you have individual tag dies, and they're all stitched. And this one is really interesting because, and this is the one I'm using today, it will cut out 3 shapes for you at once. And I'm kind of purposely not saying 3 tags because these are essentially, hey Lena, I'm so glad you're here with me live. These are essentially, yeah, they are tags, but they're shapes that you could use in a whole host of situations. Now, let's talk about the stamp set. It is, of course, photopolymer. That's all of our stamps now are photopolymer. But let me just show you, this stamp here is actually one stamp so that you could stamp it one time and then run it through your die cutting machine. However, that just does not work well for me. So what I did was these were actually together and I cut them apart. Now, yes, you can cut your stamps. Now, if you do that, you are going to want to use super sharp scissors and take it slow. Here's the one I'm going to be using today. So just so you can see, these were all together and I just lifted them up and carefully split them. Now that enabled me to then pick up this stamp and stamp it onto my pre-cut shape. That is the way that I like to do it, and I want to recommend that to you because I think it increases the versatility. Okay, enough about that. I also do like the fact that you have several ways to issue your Christmas greetings. You have this, of course, perfect for tags, but also for gift card holders. Your to from, perfect for tags. I like, of course, the British tend to say Happy Christmas. I think the Aussies do as well. And then you've got Merry Christmas. So I like that you can do, no matter where you're from or where you're sending to, it can be Happy Christmas or Merry Christmas. Holly Jolly is very cute. And then Joyful Greetings just covers a lot of ground. Okay, now what we're going to do, I really like this, what I would oftentimes call a layout. I guess in modern terms, we tend to say these are card sketches. And this is all about the measurements. And we're going to take this same card. We're going to make it twice more. And this time we're going to use the other tags. So I've got this tag ready to go and this tag ready to go. Now I chose to use 3 of the background patterns from this paper. And I like this because you could use any Christmas paper you have on hand, would work really well with this. Some of us collect Christmas paper, Christmas stamps, Christmas dies, everything. I do love this Christmas paper a lot. This was, is one of the July online exclusives. And there's these really strong quilted patterns, which are gorgeous. But then the B side, I mean, they're gorgeous, but they really do kind of take center stage. So the B side are these small patterns, and that's what I'm using today. Okay, so let's get these layered up first. And again, if you are a subscriber to my emails, I'm going to give you all of the dimensions. They're not complicated. And but then you have a downloadable file. It's going to have the photos in here and all of that. Now I have toyed with the idea. All this is pre-cut. I did toy with the idea of doing that on one of the cards. We'll see whether we think we should or not. So let's just kind of play with it and see, because I think the other elements, I definitely can't really use the B side because it's such a, it's a large pattern and it's not going to work when I flip it over. Okay, so let's go ahead and layer this little guy first. And this is a 3x2. Now, instead of putting this on a 1/4 inch layer, I'm putting this on what I call a micro layer. So it gives just a hint, just a little 1/8 inch surround. And I'm going to do that on both of these, because the only thing I think that I possibly could flip on this, and if you watch me very much, you know I like to flip things around and change things up, just kind of the way my mind tends to go. And so this one here, I think I could. Now, with my Christmas in July, I am going to be here Monday through Friday for Coffee with Candy. Tomorrow, if you are in the local San Antonio area, I am reinvigorating an event I used to do years back. And I have a new venue called Coffee and Culture. It's about, a few blocks north of Worcester Parkway on Blanco. And it's super cute. They have tons of seating for us and lots of nice natural light. We're meeting at 11 o'clock. And my purpose in that is, if you're in the workplace, maybe you can steal away for your lunch break and come have lunch with us. They have a great menu at Coffee with Culture. Maybe you're at 11, you're just kind of getting going and you want to come and have coffee with us. That would also work. So that's why I figured they have fabulous pastries, nice coffees and teas and lemonades, but they also have really awesome lunch. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with my original plan. This is, to me, if I'm doing that, I want that to be the bulk of what I'm doing. And this just kind of complicates things. So we will go with my original plan. And again, this, because you've got 3 different patterns at work, your small patterns are ideal for this. And I like to do 3. Now you could do your first layer in one, and then your second layer in a different one, and your third layer back to the same as the original or the first layer. But I like to do 3 patterns when I can. Now, you know, that's actually a fashion thing as well. My husband is a major gentleman's fashion aficionado. And the rule of thumb is no more than 3 patterns. So if a man is wearing a Glen plaid jacket and he has like a small pattern in his trousers, then he can wear a tie with a pattern versus a solid, but he wouldn't then want to have like a patterned hanky in his pocket or something. So yeah, my husband knows all about these things. He is always the best dressed man in the room, and I just try to keep up with him. I teasingly tell him I try to not look like the washerwoman next to him. That was an old saying that my mother-in-law used to say, and it has stuck. My mother-in-law, who has sadly passed away, was more of a mother to me than my own mom. And my father, we both quote them regularly. They had so many little sayings that we quote almost daily. I don't know, you guys have any sayings from your parents or grandparents that just really stick with you and kind of become part of your daily vocabulary? Okay, so this is where I started, and I just did a simple, this is just a simple stamp. I am going to use the other 2 tags with the same thing. And this also shows you, most of us when we make Christmas cards have quite a few to make. So we're not just making one gorgeous card, we're making multiples. So I am going to keep with my garden green and real red color scheme with regard to ink. Now, in the paper, what's great about this paper is it actually has garden green and old olive and peaceful pine. So that's pretty amazing. You know what? I need to get something dark underneath me, or I'm not going to make this correct. Let's see. Here we go. That white on white is not helping me see accurately. So let's just bring this in. Ah, yes, here we go. And this just gives you that nice little frame, and I think it's super cute. Gives you that nice detail. Now on the inside of this one, and I'm going to do all of my stamping here at once. Hey Linda, thank you for joining me from Minnesota. Now this is my stocking, and I think I'm going to keep it straight. I could angle it, but I think I'm going to keep it straight. Hopefully it's in about the middle. Yeah, pretty good. Now I'm going to take the other tag, which is this one here, and I'm going to bring in this little holly leaf. So let's just, you can already see how these small images would look so nice on the inside of your cards. So, and on your envelopes, and I think that's a really nice little touch. Okay, so there we go, and there you can see my original. So you have all 3 tags that go through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in just one pass. Now, let's just give a little bit of color to these, and I am honestly just using Old Olive and Real Red, because you know we don't have a garden green blend. Now you can kind of create garden green by blending a couple of blends, but that's going to be a little bit more than I want to do at this point. So I'm going to come in here with my garden green, not garden green, sorry, this is light Old Olive, and just give these a little bit of color. And the other thing I like about these really small images is they come together so quickly. I mean, boom, done. That is right up my alley. Now, I think I'm going to do the light Real Red. The dark Real Red is pretty dark. So I'm just going to do these little holly berries like so. Now, I will have some packets that you can get with your minimum order by the end of the week. So I will have some information about that for you. Now, let's just see if we can't, you know, I didn't try this out ahead of time. So this is my first try, but I think it's pretty cute. Now, let's do a little bit, do we want to have all red? I think we're going to go all red and white. So let's go with, this is dark Real Red, so I realize I'm kind of obliterating that stitch line, but that's okay because it's going to still give me the heel, and this is going to give me the toe. And again, I'm just kind of bringing those together. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult, and hopefully I'm going to like that look. Now I could go in and bring the green, but I think I'm going to keep my stocking red and white. Let's just see what we think. Oh yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty cute because there's not a lot of red here. Hey Gail, thank you for joining me live today. Now let's see how we're going to do this. Are we going to angle it? Are we going to bring it here? Are we going to, oh, I think I'm going to do it right there. So let's go ahead and pop that up on dimensionals. And then we're going to use some of that super, super cute ribbon that Stampin' Up! Just released. Again, it's part of the July online exclusives. And I have to tell you, we've had stitched ribbons before. We've never had one that is like this, and I'll tell you why. Let me bring that right like so. I want to have a little bit showing over here. This, I keep these little ponytail holders on my ribbon, and it's just delightful. This is called, I think it's just called stitched ribbon. Yeah, stitched ribbon. It's real silky. So it's not, usually we have stitched ribbon that's kind of thick. This is silky, and there doesn't seem to be a right or wrong side, which makes me really happy because all of my loops and all of my tails all have just a little bit of shine to them, and it's really, really lovely. So let's put this at the top, and I am going to have a place for a greeting, so we will get there. I do a lot of this. I do what some people call Stampin' on the fly. So like I had my original and then I didn't have the others. So we kind of make it up as we go, but I like that kind of creating as we go and doing that with my audience. So we're going to come back and add a greeting, but let's go ahead and we now have these two. Let's go, and you can see where this is a little bit sweeter, this is a little bit more formal, and I think that's also really serves us well when we're making a set of cards like this. Well, let's see. Oh, oh well, looky there. Looky there. We could have done that on the other one as well. I'm not sure whether we could have turned that. but I think I'm happy with the way it is so far. So let's go ahead and pop this one up on dimensionals. And then all we're going to do is put together a little greeting for the front. Having said that, you know, we can have a beautiful card and put the greeting on the inside. It doesn't have to have a greeting on the outside. We kind of do that to ourselves sometimes, where we hem ourselves in and feel like, oh my gosh, I have to have a greeting on the front. No, it can be on the inside, or it can be on the front and on the inside. So I think we might do one Facebook Live this week where we just talk about the insides of our Christmas cards. So, oh, that might just end up being my favorite one. So, you know, I'm going to ask you for a favorite. And this one actually works great because the back of all of these, or I should say the base of all of these, is identical. Now, this one I did put, and I think I'm just going to keep with that. This is the new buttons, and they're super cute, but they are rather large, and I've already got a lot going on here. So I opted to use rhinestones that I just pulled in the, this is just the blends. I'm already using these. So it's like, well, why don't I just keep using them, use what I've already brought out of my stash, and use these as my embellishment. Now, I think I'm going to live dangerously and go ahead and put these down. And then we are going to put a little, we're going to put a little greeting on there. So let's go here, and I think on this one, what we're going to do is one of my favorite applications for embellishments, and that is to do just a little row of 3. So let's get these going right here. 1, 2, and we've got a lot of lines, a lot of linear elements on this card. So sometimes you just kind of keep going with it. You just, you know, you go big or you go home. Now, let's do a little greeting, and then these are 3 lovely Christmas cards, each a little bit different, done and dusted, made super quick and easy with our bundle of Merriest Tags. So, and you know, you could take each one of these and make tags out of them as well. Okay, I have a little scrap of white somewhere here, and we are going to do a couple of different greetings. So we have joyful greetings, which I think would fit nicely. Actually, I think that's going to fit very nicely here to go with our little Christmas stocking. So let's go with joyful greetings there. And I think that's going to be cute. And then the other one, I think we're going to do a Merry Christmas. Or maybe we're going to do Merry Christmas here. I don't know. We're just kind of making it up as we go. Of course, that's part of the fun of creativity and our stamping, is we can just do it, you know, doesn't have to have a big plan. For me though, I need to have, when I start creating, for it to not be stressful, I need to have a color scheme and preferably a sketch. So there's my sketch right there. My color scheme was derived from the paper, which it oftentimes is. And then we just kind of play and put things together. I can see my problem. I've got a little bit of a, you know, I think we're just going to hand cut these. Super, super simple. You know, sometimes it doesn't need to be all perfect. So let's just go with a little banner here. We'll just go to the center and create a little banner. And it does not want to release. That looks pretty cute. Probably should have done it this way. Actually, I think this is going to go here. Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe it's all going to break down for me right here on live TV. This is the part where when you don't have a plan, you just kind of go with it. I like that. I'm going to go with that. We're going down there, and we're going to put a couple of dimensionals behind it. And then, you know, I'm going to want to know, what is your favorite project while I'm looking for my dimensionals? So my original is the round Christmas ball. This is card number 1. The stocking is card number 2. And the holly is card number 3. Haha, I found my dimensionals. So let's see what we can do here to make it all come together. Now, this might just need to be like this. Ay, ay, ay. No, we're going to go here. I think that's what we decided. We're going here. Okay. There we go. White and white. Okay. Now, here we are going to go. I think we just figured it out. I think we just figured it out. Let's trim this down just a little bit so that my flag is not quite so big. And then, do we like that? No. I think it might be because it's white. I think that might be my problem, is it's white. And it's too much white. You know what? I'm going to put it on the inside. Okay, so there we're going to go with card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. And we are going to put this on the inside right here because it was just too much white on the outside. And having said that, I think even putting like more red or green would just be a little bit much. So it's like a stocking waiting to see. Okay, Linda likes the ornament one best. Thank you for your vote. They're all a little bit different. Very classic. This one's pretty classic too. This one, just because the stocking is kind of cute, it's a little bit more whimsical. So don't forget to make sure you have signed up for my emails by going to sweetstamper.com. You know, I'm going to hit this with a little bit of Wink of Stella, which is what I did on my Christmas ball. And I think if we add a little Wink of Stella to all of these, it's going to just bring that extra little bit of oomph, which is a little hard to see unless you're in person, but it's awfully cute. So I will be here tomorrow with more Christmas cards. Wednesday, we're making a box, and I will be here at 2 o'clock every day this week for Coffee with Candy series, Christmas in July. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, and God bless.